Boxing truth here. Bernard Hopkins, the execution of Hopkins, well, while I was growing up watching him, now refers to himself as the alien now. He's revealing details about his next fight. And in an interview with ES News, he pretty much said that he will be returning in April. He's looking to announce the fight, who he will be fighting this month. And all he's saying right now, he's hinting at a very dangerous opponent. It's a fight that he says will surprise people, and that he will be considered a very significant underdog in the fight. And Hopkins is going in on his 28th year as a pro. Made his debut in 1988. He's now 51 years old. A little backstory: he lost his professional debut. Then was able to build a winning streak. Lost his first title shot for a vacant belt against Roy Jones. Got dominated. Was just too green for Roy Jones at the time. Was able to get another shot at a vacant title in the rematch with Mercado. Was able to defeat him. Made a lot of defenses. Looked great in some outings, like against John David Jackson and Glenn Johnson. Looked like a master technician boxer. But he was having trouble getting the recognition and respect that he wanted, despite all these offenses. Well, he was fighting in a division that was lacking name recognition at the time. Not many stars that he could fight to really raise his profile. It wasn't until he fought Trinidad in 2001 that he finally got that great victory he yearned for, and the recognition that he wanted as a great middleweight champion. Ended up breaking the record, 20 defenses. Lost to Jermaine Taylor in 2 close fights. Moved up in weight. Shocked everybody when he moved up 2 divisions to dominate Tarver. Kept taking on tough fights. Fights he was considered a big underdog, like against Pavlik and against, who else? I guess Pascal. No, I'm not really sure. I don't know if he was underdog in that fight. But, he broke records. He kept continuing to, he would take tough fights, like against Kawasaki. Kawasaki's a great fighter. He lost a split decision. Was able to unify the light heavyweight division later on after another setback against Chad Dawson. Unified, and then lost to Kovalev in a fight that was interesting. How the fight got done. That it was an interesting story. How that fight got done. Took the fight. Got dominated. Was his worst loss of his career, and now he's looking to return in April. And going by the ratings for the light heavyweight division, I just don't see the dangerous opponent that he's talking about. Because there is political dividing lines preventing from fights happening, network alliances that are ruining the sport. They're the reason why fights can't be, the fights a lot of fans want to see can't be made. So I don't see an Adonis Stevenson fight. I don't see a Fonfara fight or a Elador Alvarez. They're all with Al Heyman, so I just don't see those fights happening. Then you go to super middleweight. He wanted to fight Offer Abraham for his belt, but he has to defend his strap in a mandatory defense against Gilberto Ramirez, so that fight is not happening. James DeGale is Al Heyman in the United States, so no, I don't see that happening. Darrell Al Heyman, Badu Jack, Mayweather Promotions, Al Heyman affiliated. I just don't see what he's talking about. Ramirez is booked. I don't see where he would be considered a huge underdog and a dangerous opponent. So I looked in the middleweight division, and of course, there's one name there that's considered very dangerous, and that's Gennady Golovkin. And I'm not sure how the fans would receive a bout between Golovkin and Hopkins. It's a fight I would watch. I would watch. It's way better than a Dominic Wade fight. 2 named fighters. One's a legend. The other's considered among the top 3 or 5 pound for pound fighters in the world. He's now the new middleweight king with a lot of defenses and rising. So is that a fight that would intrigue fans. I mean, it beats the hell out of a Dominic Wade fight for sure, but Hopkins is 51 years old. He hasn't fought in the middle division in a decade. I mean, how would his body respond at boiling down to middleweight after a lot of years fighting at light heavyweight, fighting much bigger men? And would if the fight be at a catch weight? It's hopefully it's just a bad rumor, but it could be possible. I mean, Hopkins is gonna announce his fight very soon, and GGG is gonna announce his fight very soon. Hopefully, it is a bad rumor. I mean, it's not a fight that really should happen. I'm not, but there's just nobody else out there for Golovkin. Hopkins wants to go out with a with a bang. He doesn't want to take on an opponent that people would consider it just a farewell fight. He wants to take a fight where people will actually say that this guy would beat him. He shouldn't take this fight. It's too dangerous. So very interesting to see who Hopkins will announce as his next fight. I mean, tell me what you guys think. Is there any guys have any insight, any info on maybe who Hopkins will be fighting? This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.